Welcome to Season 2 of the Generational Dental Wealth Show. Season 2 is all about increasing dental financial IQ. We do record these live in studio at Team Studios, so if you want to see the video format of this show, go ahead to Spotify or YouTube. Also, if you want to join the Generational Dental Wealth community, go ahead and head to teamfinancials.com/educate. Let's hop into it.
Welcome to the Generational Dental Wealth Show. My name is Dr. Jermaine Affetti.
My name is Kingsley Affetti, CPA.
We're going to have some fun. We're getting into a fun topic today that is honestly very, very needed. It's going to be simply talking about your financial IQ. So Kings, if you could tell me, can you define like what exactly is a financial IQ?
Yeah, so financial IQ is taking the concepts, and I would even call it principles of money, of income, of the way that you elevate within your finances. Is really putting on a savvy hat so that you can take the next step in wealth building and start to play that game. Personally, I believe that this topic is super important because it doesn't expose you into something bad happens, right? Life turns for the worse. God forbid you get hurt in a job and you can no longer practice. Or COVID, we all saw what happened there, right? Maybe you can't go into the practice. So these financial concepts, a lot of people take for granted, but they don't appreciate it until they need them. So we don't want you to do that. We want to get a jump start on this and make sure that we introduce these financial concepts to you.
For sure. Yeah. One of the scariest parts is the fact that a lot of people who graduate, right? We go from earning no income to you're actually paying income. You're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt to get that degree. Yep. And now, over just a switch, now that person's earning six figures. Yeah. How do you go from earning nothing to six figures and there's no kind of information in between to help try to like make sense of the new world that you're living into? Exactly. Right? So your financial IQ, the goal is to be able to increase the knowledge that you walk around with on a day-to-day basis. So now some decisions that you make will be a little bit different, right? Yeah. To be able to understand that maybe I should put my money in this account versus just keeping it cash. Yeah. Maybe I should invest in X versus not doing anything at all because I'm paralyzed with fear, right? Because unfortunately, that's why a lot of individuals in our profession, we get paralyzed with fear. Because understand, just the natural psychology of dentists is we are scientists by nature, right? Meaning that the way we break down and process information is based off of evidence, and now outcome, right? So now when you have individuals who have been training for 8, 10, 12, 14 years to become professional scientists in a way, right? Yep. And we're used to seeing you put this input and you get this outcome. Naturally, we like to move and operate in spaces that we're comfortable, right? Dentistry, we're comfortable. We know dentistry, right? Yep. But if you take us out of dentistry and you put us into the real world financial game, a lot of us are not necessarily comfortable. And therefore, we, again, paralyzed with fear, don't make certain financial decisions. Yeah. The conference we spoke at last year, it was at the Ritz-Carlton here in Charlotte. I remember we asked a question. We polled the audience and asked, how many people here have a credit card? This was an audience of all students, maybe about 40 to 50 students. How many people here have a credit card? Less than half the room raised their hand. Yeah, I'm not a big advocate for credit and buying everything on credit, but it's just a simple psychology of just knowing that, maybe I can just have a credit card and stash it so I can start building my credit, right? The second question that you asked was, how many people even know what a IRA is, individual retirement account, right? And very few people raised their hand. So I'm asking you, like, the individuals you deal with on a daily basis, right? What are some things that you notice that, like, I thought this dental professional would know that they just don't know, and that you want to make sure that somebody leaves with today knowing? Yeah,
I mean, obviously as a CPA, most of the time when clients come to us, it's mainly about taxes. But oftentimes, as a financial professional, they want to talk other financial concepts with you. You'd be surprised, the success you can have without knowing some of these, in a way, basic financial concepts. So whenever people come, we always start with the baseline on, right, where are you trying to get to? where, what is your risk tolerance? I always talk about that. You're investing in your lifestyle and in the way that you think about finances may be different than mine, right? Maybe I have a different financial landscape and different financial destination. So just in general, I mean, just to answer that question, the most, thing that, we ever get as CPA is just always around taxes. How can I save in taxes? How can I make sure I'm paying as little in taxes? What does it even mean to pay? What does it even mean to be taxed, right? Why am I getting a refund? Why did my neighbor that I thought that had the same financial situation as me, why do they owe? Or why are they getting a refund versus what I'm getting? So just financial curiosity around just different concepts on that, man.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Because again, I have to keep harping on the fact that dentists are scientists.
Yep.
We like to know and to control our outcomes.
Yep.
And when we're moving into a different area, which is now financial knowledge and information, if we're not comfortable or we don't have that information, it seems like an insurmountable mountain to get from one side to the other side.
Yep.
Because number one, you don't know who to trust. You don't know who to talk to. You don't really understand how to even get that knowledge necessary to be able to make those kind of financial decisions. So the goal here in season 2 is to help everybody get those basic financial principles. So now when you walk into a business deal, when you walk into to purchase your car, purchase your home, right? Mm-hmm. Or you're talking to a financial advisor, the goal is for you to have a knowledge base, some information and some confidence. So when you're engaging in these different professionals, you have the solid financial foundation to be able to handle yourself appropriately in some of these conversations.
Yeah, I think in general, it just brings me back to just a huge staple, in the Bible where it talks about in Hosea 4:6, my people are being destroyed because they don't know, or my people are being destroyed because of a lack of knowledge. So that's exactly what we're aiming to do with this, man, to increase that financial IQ so that you're not destroyed, man.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. Man, we're going to rattle off a quick question, man. We received a question from Dr. Sarah in Arizona, basically just asking about emergency funds. And this is one of the things that really sparked our understanding of needing to go deeper when it comes to the financial IQ of our dentist, right?
Yep.
She was asking about her emergency fund and asking what's the proper way to build an emergency fund, right?
Yep.
And it really stuck out to me because she thought an emergency fund is literally an emergency fund that needs to be kept in cash to make sure if an emergency happens, she can easily have that cash, right? Yeah. But one thing that we really harp on is how do you do the right thing the right way?
Yep.
Doing the right thing the wrong way or doing the wrong thing the right way. Yep. I mean, these are all adding different steps to reaching your financial end game, which is eventually is generational dental wealth, right?
Yeah.
So for her, she had the right idea. How do I build the emergency fund? But not necessarily the right way by trying to do it in cash. Mm-hmm. So can you tell me where's a safe place for people to keep, let's say, an emergency fund in cash?
Yep.
Where's the best kind of account to put it in? And let's not go too deep because we're going to touch on each of these different financial topics deeper. But this is just one of the things that really stuck out to me. What's the best place to keep an emergency fund?
Yeah. So in general, right, what is the goal of an emergency fund? To have money in case things go wrong, in case of emergency. So at least my concept and what I'm thinking about if I'm advising someone is, what are some safer places that we can park your money that's still earning some type of interest on top of it? Because then again, right, if we're going into risky investments, some brand new idea that you're thinking of and you want to throw everything that you saved in your emergency fund in that, God forbid that doesn't work out, then your emergency fund is gone. So the first few things that ways to park your money that comes to me is something as simple as a high yield savings account.
Yep.
And the reason I say that is this, right? We all know about the dirty word inflation, right? These days it's happening at higher speeds than others. But we don't want money sitting around in cash, right? Each year that inflation is lessening your purchase power that you are even able to take with that same dollar. So we at least want to get it in a place like a high yield saving account that can at least keep up with that inflation that we experience.
That's really good. I mean, I give her the same advice I give everybody. Keep 1,000 cash. Anything over 1,000 cash need to be stored away.
Yeah.
Now, again, depending on your position, that it could be different. You have kids, you not have kids, whatever it is like that. You need a little liquidity in your pocket, ready to go at any given time, just because you never know, right?
Yeah.
But the amounts that she's thinking about for her emergency fund is 3 to 6 times her monthly expenses, right? Mm-hmm. That's a nice chunk of change.
Nice.
And just understanding that by putting those funds into a high yield savings account, like you've mentioned, versus just keeping those funds in cash, is literally the definition of a financial IQ.
Yeah.
It's taking that extra step and understanding why you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So let's say, for instance, even if she was parking, let's use $25,000, right? If she kept that in cash, she would be earning nothing. If she put into a high yield savings account, like you said, and we just recently looked up that it's over 5% interest.
Yep.
I mean, she is making money hand over fist by just, instead of putting it in the wrong place, by putting it in the right place. And again, when it comes to your financial IQ, it's simply put, you're doing the right things the right way. So how can we help more people, especially dental professionals, understand what is that right way? Because again, we're not taught what the right thing or the right way is in dental school. So I'm excited this season. We're going to talk about a lot of the right things, doing them a lot of the right ways, man. Kings, you got any closing words for us?
No, man. It's just simply thinking about finances. It doesn't have to be the big swings. You're going to hear from me all the time. It's not about the home runs. It's about the base hits. A lot of base hits will win games. Home runs are few and far between. It's great when you get them, but that's not why we're in the game. We're in the game to get base hits. We're in the game to chip at this thing little by little. So as long as we can even change one or two ways that you think about finances in your daily life, man, over the course of a professional lifespan, over the course of your life, man, you're going to be in good shape.
Yeah, excited. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. And Kingsley, where can they find resources at if they want to learn more?
Yeah, so the best place to find resources, as the generational dental wealth community is being built, more and more people are engaging, is teamfinancials.com. And if you head to our educate tab, you can always find more resources, blog posts, just different things to make sure that you are being poured into on a daily.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see y'all next time.
See you next time.
Peace.
All right.